Welcome everybody to It Tastes Different Game Reviews. What we're reviewing today, Saints Row. Saints Row released August 23rd, released on the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Series X, as Google Stadia, which is still alive, Microsoft Windows, and it is developed by Deep Silver Volition. I always screw that one up. And Fish Labs, and published by Playon and Deep Silver. All right, it is it's Saints Row, and pretty much no need to give an introduction to the style of game. So let's just jump right into the review. Let's go to Pat first, and let's find out what he thought. Pat.
It's a train wreck that ran face first into an airplane. It's about the best way I can explain this game. It's good. It's fun. It is. It's not the wacky craziness of the last couple of Saints Row games, but it's fun. It is really fun. It's just it's really buggy. But you know, it does seem like they rushed to get this out. It does seem very rushed to me just because of the amount of bugs. There's no way this came through playthrough demos and beta tests with this many bugs in there. It could have used a little bit more time in the oven, but outside of that, it is a very fun game. If you're a fan of Saints Row or Grand Theft Auto style games, you're going to love this one because it's pretty much the same formula, right? There's a ass ton of side stuff to do outside of the main missions. The main missions is relatively quick, but there's a lot of side stuff that you can do in the game outside of the main mission to basically run through it. I mean, I think I beat the game, and I'm pretty sure a few of us others did. So, and that's not like me putting in a lot of time neither. I mean, I played on Friday, I played a little bit Saturday night, and I played a good chunk on Sunday and then some today. So, you know, it's relatively short. Lots of side stuff, which is typical of these games, you know, like go steal this car, go do some mayhem missions, go do some insurance fraud, go pick up some toxic trucks and take them to the toxic waste dump, you know, the typical things. But overall, we'll kind of get into some of the bugs and stuff we ran into later. But right now, it's fun. If you like these games, go ahead and get it. But if you are easily annoyed with bugs and stuff like that, I would wait for a while. But Nick, what are your initial thoughts on this one, man?
The Saints are back, and they're buggy as hell. But other than that, yes, I agree. The game is very buggy, but it is good. You know, it's not a great game, but it's not a bad game either. It's just okay, and that's okay because it's the Saints. You know, Saints games have never been up to the standard that GTA is, right? And I'm not talking about the wacky craziness. I'm just talking about just the presentation and style that GTA gives that open world Grand Theft Auto simulator game, right? The Grand Theft Auto is basically the number one in that type of game. You know, there's other games that's come before, but you know, Saints Row has always been the game that's been number two, in my opinion, as far as, you know, because we've had other open world games that try to be GTA. Saints Row was the closest thing that got it right? Not 100% got it right, but got damn close. And with this one, they've done it again. They've gotten damn close, right? It's good. It's fun. You're going to have a great time if you like Saints Row, man. I mean, after playing this, I'm glad Saints Row is back. It's always been one of my favorite franchises. And I can't wait for Saints Row 2. And I hope they go a little bit more on the wacky side because they didn't quite go wacky with this one. This one's kind of like, Saints Row 1 and 2, kind of in between that. It seems like a 1.5 because 1 wasn't quite, it was really kind of standard GTA, criminal empire type thing. And 2 kind of had a little bit of wackiness in it. So this is kind of like dead in the center of both of those. A little bit of wackiness, but kind of more geared towards the first Saints game. But it is a lot of fun. There are like Pat said, and you know, we'll talk about all the different bugs and stuff that we ran into, but like Pat said, there is a ton of side missions, side hustles, collectibles, just a whole bunch of stuff to find around the map. You know, Ubisoft the hell out of it, right? There's things everywhere, but that's okay for a game like this because it's more expected, right? When we play GTA or we play Saints Row, we're kind of expecting the map to be filled with crap, right? And so, you know, and that's fine because you get all sorts of ways to get there, right? You know, you get helicopters and jets and you get fast travels and, you know, all sorts of different types of modes of transportation to get from A to B and various wacky ways to do it, right? Driving fast in cars or jumping out of helicopters and using your wingsuit. This one has a wingsuit, which is cool to get around and attack people from the sky and various things like that. So there's a lot of cool features in this game. And yeah, I agree. I think that they just needed more time in the oven. There, like Pat said, there was no way that this game could have gotten through QA without them running into a ton of them, because every time I played, within at least 20 minutes of playing, I ran into at least one bug, right? By the time I get done playing an hour or two session, I've ran into several and probably restarted my game a few times during that. So we'll get more into that part of it. But overall, I think it is a fun game. You know, I'm sure we'll see some patches out for it and everything like that. They'll kind of try to address a lot of them. I don't think they'll address everything because there is a laundry list of bugs here. But I think they'll squish quite a few with patches over time. But yeah, we'll get to that. Anyway, Shane, what do you think?
Yeah, you're definitely, I mean, the one thing we can definitely all agree upon is it's got more bugs than a free clinic bar stool. But the biggest thing for me about the game wasn't the bugs. It was I don't know. It was missing some of that humor of Saints Row. But it's still a good game. It's still a really good game. But some of the wackiness, like Nick said, it's kind of like in the middle of 1 and 2. It was leaning towards some wacky stuff, but it wasn't over the hill yet with it. But I kind of wanted that, you know, I wanted to run around and just beat somebody with some sexual paraphernalia, you know, trying to say without being crude. But, you know, some of those things I kind of missed. Now, one thing I did really like about this game was the characters in the game. They typically have a really good set of characters. I enjoyed all the characters, not your teammate group of characters, but you know, all the enemy main characters you had and things like that. I really enjoyed those. I thought they were well voice acted and scripted, and they're just fun and funny. The game is good. It's gotten a lot of flack because of the bugs, and those bugs, flack from the bugs is well deserved. Because like these guys had pointed out, no way it got through Q&A without somebody going, hey boss, it's broke. I mean, you can't play it without finding something wrong. You just can't. I won't, you know, I'll go into a couple of the issues here in a second. It's a fairly decent looking game, but it's definitely not next gen graphics by any means. That was kind of a disappointment, but I also understand because they were betting on all systems. So I get why it's not drop dead gorgeous, but it wasn't ugly. It's just, you can tell it was definitely made for everyone, everybody's damn console. But to jump into the horror show of the glitches, that's the biggest distraction of this game. I enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the gameplay. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed pretty much everything about it, except for the bug issues. The bug issues were the biggest problem. The bug I'll jump into first, just because it really chapped my butt, because it's a really cool mission. There's a mission where you have to go in and basically you destroy these cars. I don't want to give all the detail away, but you go in there, and as you play through, you go through each area, you destroy cars. My everything stopped working. I could run around. I could look around. I couldn't pull out my guns. I couldn't swap weapons. I couldn't beat up anybody. All I could do was my special ability where basically I shoved a nade up their cracker and just threw them at people. That's it. That's all I could do. I almost finished that mission just doing that. No guns or nothing because it glitched on me. I reloaded the checkpoints. I reloaded the mission and it still did that to me. I had to completely kill the game and come back to get that to stop. So, and then that same mission, me and Nick done co-op and, I believe you glitched and you were stuck looking at your toes the entire time. And you basically followed me until somebody whacked you with a hammer or something and it, knocked your head clear.
Yeah, my camera was stuck in a top-down view. So it turned into a top-down game and all I could do was shoot at the ground. So I ran around and did nothing that entire time. And we even restarted the mission and it still didn't fix it. What it ended up fixing is we both ended up dying. And that restarted the mission, and for some reason that fixed it at that point. But that
with
sucked.
The big hammer. It was things like that really hurt the game. To me, I think that was my biggest glitch, my biggest issue that I had with the game because because it was such a fun mission because there's neat ways to destroy the cars, and it wouldn't let me do anything. And that's what made it really bad for me. So, what about you, Pat?
Technically, this game is and I'm going to say technically, on the technical aspect, it's a train wreck, right? There's just way too many bugs for it to be in existence. Gameplay and everything like that, it's good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed enough to put my 20 plus hours in to beat it. But it feels played out a little bit, right? The original Saints Row and stuff were all about building your gang up and then doing things with the gang, and it was hard. This game didn't feel that way. I felt like I could just Superman the whole thing, go in by myself, guns ablaze, and just destroy everything and not rely on my gang or upgrade and build my gang up, because that's what the other ones were all about, is upgrading your gang, making them more powerful, and they can join you in, ransack another gang's territory and things like that. This one didn't feel like that to me. It didn't feel like a Saints Row game, which kind of makes me wonder if they're basically just saying, yeah, this is it. We're done with Saints Row after this. But that could just be me. But that's how it feels to me right now, is that's what they're going for. But I ran into lots of bugs. I ran into the end boss bug that I think is pretty prevalent out there for some people. Plenty of times my reticle would go away from my cursor. I had the same thing happen to you, Nick, where halfway through a mission, I don't know what it was, she's just looking at the ground, and I'm like, what's going on? I can't do anything. Or one of my favorite perks in the game bugged out probably 75% of the time you use it, and that's the quick draw one, where you do the little RB and you can do quick draw on 4 people and it just But 75% of the time when I would go to fire it off, it would mark the 4 targets, but not do anything and just be out of ammo. And I can't shoot or anything until somebody hits me. And then it breaks the animation or whatever. And I can go back to shooting, but it wasted my power, my power up, those 2 power up pellets that I got. So I'm like, it's very, very buggy, but it wasn't buggy enough to make me stop playing. So that should tell you something. It's a fun game. I do not like a little bit of the forced side stuff that it makes you do, the side missions, but that's part of it. If you want to progress some of the story, you have to get so many criminal enterprises going up, and just building them doesn't get them ready for you. You have to also do the little mini game quests that go along with that criminal enterprise to basically unlock it, so that it's earning, so that you can, progress the story. There's a few of those, and they don't make you do it with all of them. I think they make you do it 2, and then another halfway point you have to do another 2 or something like that. So a total of 4 of them, and some of them are downright difficult because of the bugs. Like I did a couple of insurance scams where all the cars disappeared. I'm like, I got to get hit by cars, and there's no cars in the game, So you really can't do that one. And some similar things happen on the Mayhem where people and cars just stop coming, and I'm like, can't really blow anything up if there's no people around or vehicles or property for me to blow up with the bazooka and stuff. So it does need a really big patch. And I really don't like the collectibles in this one. I don't know about you guys, but I found the whole take a picture of it thing to be super annoying because a cell phone in the game craps out. Like, I don't know how many times I'd open up the cell phone and it would just be stuck and just hung up. So I'd have to back out, go back in just so I could pull the camera up. And I'm like, this is annoying. Or you get into a vehicle and you can't pull up the maps. And it's just a very, very buggy game. And it should have been pushed out, but it's out here. And if you like Saints Row, you probably already played it. If you like GTA style games, I would highly suggest you get this one. But if you're adverse to any type of bugs and they're just going to piss you off, then stay away from it for a while.
Yeah, well, definitely stay away from it for a while if you're averse to bugs. Yeah, I ran into a few bugs too with the map, especially where there's icons in the map to go do various activities, and sometimes those icons will tell you an activity's here, and you go there, and there's nothing there. Right? There's nothing to collect. There's nothing to start, but it tells me I have something here. But because the icons, the collectibles and there's different ones that, when you complete them, they'll either kind of mark them off on the map, show them that you can do them again, or they'll mark them off completely from the map, saying that those are done. And sometimes I've had ones where I know I've done them, but they did disappear from the map. For some reason, they've come back onto the map. And then other ones I know I haven't done yet, but when I go there, it doesn't start anything. There's no enemies to kill, nothing to collect. It's just nothing's there. One of the things that I find very infuriating with this game too is the auto aim, or the aim assist in this game. The aim assist is either works or it doesn't. They have various levels of aim assist. They have a full aim assist where it locks onto the target and keeps on that target. They have like a softer aim assist where it kind of locks on, but you can freely move it off. And for me, it seemed like I put mine on the full aim assist. That's not what it starts on by default. So that way I could just have my cursor locked onto that target, because I felt like when the soft aim assist or the other ones, I would easily get off a target and end up shooting the sky or something like that. But what I found is with the full aim assist, even when it locks onto the target, it still doesn't hit them half the time. Half the time I end up shooting around them, like in the movies, where a guy shoots a machine gun at a dude and it just outlines them against the wall. That's pretty much what it was in here. And I'm just like, what the hell? Not one single bullet hit them. And and it seemed like just the auto aim would do that. Like it would be on them, and then as soon as you go to shoot, it'd be over in this corner or over here or down on the ground. Sometimes it worked just fine, and sometimes it didn't. That was the most frustrating bug in the game, because sometimes you like really get your ass kicked. You're not dead, but you're losing a lot of health because you can't seem to hit anything because your auto aim's just totally off. Right.
Yeah. And the control schema, the fine controls, the thumbstick they're not in this game. Like you just give the little thumbstick just a little twitch so that your cursor moves over just a little bit, and it either doesn't move or it shoots halfway across the screen. So this game, you have to use the auto target almost. I mean, because if you're not, I don't know how the hell you're playing this game, because the fine movement is not there for the reticle in this game. It's just not there. It's like, it's just not, like, unless you're using a pray and spray gun, it's just not there. Like, I ran around with the Magnum most of the time, the Magnum pistol, just because, headshots from that thing pretty much almost kill every enemy except for the armored ones. But it's, I don't know how anybody plays without even a little bit of the aim assist on, because that quick shot, thing just, is the only way to really do it. Because if not, it's like your gun just goes everywhere. And it's not like because of like recoil or anything. It's just the controls in this game are pretty rough.
Yeah, rough would be an upgrade. You get used to it, though. Luckily, it's the type of control scheme they use is something you've used 1,000 times. It's just not done well. So you can compensate pretty easy for it.
Did you guys run into the dust storm / rainstorm that whited out or browned out your entire screen? I couldn't tell what was going on.
Yes.
I was like, is that supposed to be rain? Is that supposed to be a dust storm? What's that supposed to be? Because I can't see shit.
Yep.
I thought my game had bugged out or something because it was so dusty. I couldn't see 2 feet in front of my character. Like I didn't know. It was like almost to the point where it was like, I'm just going to stand here and wait till this is over because I can't see anything.
No,
it was so bad.
me and Nick were playing the co-op, and we jumped into a helicopter to go across the map because it's quicker. And every time we jump in, you couldn't see nothing. You see this weird haze of like city background stuff. So you're like, what the hell? And you get out of the helicopter where you're, 10 miles up and you're falling to your death. So we restarted that like 3 or 4 times and it just never worked. And finally, I just flew over there using the radar, then just bailed out. And, you get your wingsuit. So I just used that to, face plant the wall. I didn't die, but, we made it. It's things like that. The glitches that break some of the funnest parts of the game is what really bothered me. It's not like it's just a random glitch that popped up while you were driving somewhere. It's like in the middle of a mission. That's what it always seemed to just really hit you. It's like, all right, I got to take out these 2 guys. I'm going to whip out my rocket. Oh, crap. I can't access anything now. Thanks a lot, game. That was my biggest problem. Is always the glitches seem to happen at the worst time.
And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I had a lot of clothing bugs. I mean, the Saints Row games are based off of you changing up your team and changing out your cars and, and basically decorating them and putting your character in different outfits. The most infuriating thing about this game is that like the entire time I'm putting on I ran into a bug with an outfit with a jacket that had 3/4 sleeve where basically she had hands and then nothing until the jacket sleeve. And I'm like, what's this? No matter what I did, I restarted it, saved it. It would never go away and never come back. And then I would put on an outfit, or if you browse the stores, it resets your outfit. I don't know what the hell is the point of that. You're not even buying anything. You're just like, look, what's that shirt look like? What's that? And you're just browsing through all the different clothing items. And then you back out, you look at your person, and all of her clothing is reset and the color schema and everything. And I'm like, what the hell? That was pretty infuriating for me because you'd get them decked out the way you want them to look. And next thing you know, they're back to an outfit you purchased 5-6 hours back into the game. And instead of it being in the Saints colors or whatever colors you pick, they're back to the gray generic colors of when you bought it. That kind of stuff is really annoying with this game, but the gameplay is fun. Like I said, I sat through and played a 5-hour session, restarting that thing probably 3 times during that entire session because something would happen where my HUD just disappears or I'm completely locked up. I'd have to restart it, restart the game. Console's not locked up. I can get out in the dashboard, but the game is just stuck on the cell phone screen. Or one time I was just stuck in the middle of combat. She's just standing there. She's getting shot by helicopters, getting shot by guys, ran into by cars, just standing there. I'm like, nothing's going to happen. So it's mildly infuriating with all the bugs, but not enough to make me quit playing. So if you like these kind of games, that should say something to you that you're going to like this too. And if you can put up with the bugs and you really got to play it now, you can pick it up. I would have picked it up even with all the bugs just because I like these kind of games. I'm not going to complete all the side stuff, but I try to get all of my buildings built, my criminal empire up to tier 4. I've got 2 of the tier 4s left to put out, but they cost $1.6 million each. So it gets expensive.
Yeah, that's a lot of insurance fraud.
Right? A lot of getting your criminal empire. And it is a lot of rinse and repeat, right? You get a criminal enterprise built up, and then you got to go to the zone and clear out all the controlling faction that's in there so that it raises more money every hour. Because if you don't, then it severely reduces the amount of money that they can earn every hour. So that slows down the amount of money you get. Like right now, I think my character's earning $781,000 an hour. So that I'm trying to get back up to 1.6 million again, so that I could buy another building and see what those missions are. Because once you beat the game, you can go back and still continue to build your empire. But if you like all the side stuff, this is probably going to be something you'll play for a while. Just like Grand Theft Auto, there's always something to do on the side. Like there's the helicopter go where you take the helicopter and steal stuff and bring it back. And there's like we've all said, the insurance fraud, the mayhem, the one of the NPCs drives and you shoot, and there's wingsuit missions. There's all kinds of missions, whatever to tickle your fancy. There's a bunch of different types of missions in there.
Yeah. And one thing, just to point out before we do wrap this up, I did not realize that this game is actually a reboot because you are building these saints from the ground up. That is your purpose of the game. I was kind of disappointed with that, but I also thought it was kind of neat too. So I'm like on the on a ledge of do I like that or do I not? Because one thing I loved about the original was well, one, you got Richard Keith in there doing the voice acting, and everybody loved him. So but the states were established, and you're just basically running your way through the ranks. This time, you create the ranks. So that was one thing I was kind of caught off guard with. But I also, like I said, I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it because, I kind of wanted it to be there already. But overall, I mean, even like Pat said, even with these issues and glitches, it's a good game. It really is. So what about you, Nick? Anything before we head out?
No, I agree with you guys. It's bug village in here. This is a city of bugs. Like Pat was saying, your bugs, sometimes they'll seem to compile on top of each other, and to the point where you will have to kill the game and restart it. And for a couple hour session or whatever, you might restart your game at least 2 or 3 times, because it gets to the point where their bugs have broken the game so much that it's almost unplayable. Where like nothing's updating, your hood elements aren't updating, none of the missions are updating, things aren't showing up on the map correctly, various things like that. So you're like, well, gotta start over, gotta save the game and restart the entire game again, because it's just completely put out, but it is a fun game, right? I mean, I didn't stop playing either. I had a lot of fun playing it. It was just, if you can deal with the bugs like they said, then I think you'll enjoy it. I think you'll have a good time.
Well, all right. Well, I think it's time for us to head on out here and finish off our criminal empires. But before we go, again, thank you for watching to the end. Make sure you like and share and subscribe. Tell your friends. Most importantly, tell us what you think about the game. Tell us if you agree with our opinions. Tell us if you enjoy the series, what you like, what you don't like. Little interaction goes a long way. And until next time, now, see ya.